emptiness and what is it? So consuming now, I must admit I can't make it on my own. Lasting through this darkness, it's all that keeps.
Welcome back to BCW. TrampoMania season is in full swing as tonight on BCW 142 we're going to hear from a recently unsuspended Maxel Reeves as well as JC Comet as we are headed into TrampoMania 3 less than a week away. Can you believe it is this close to the biggest event of the year as we are going to see the Hardcore Championship first ever Fatal 4-Way match in BCW. Who do you have walking away with the belt? Let us know in the comments down below. And of course we have this absolute grudge match between Caden Gallows and NJN. Who is going to win? Who will be the victor in this TrampoMania 2 rematch? And then, of course, we have our main event. This rivalry has escalated into different proportions. We've never seen a rivalry quite this intense in BCW as these two men collide on May 4th, 2025. But right here, right now, it is time to get to tonight's events as we're going to start with Maxel Reeves addressing Tsunami, and we will hear from the god JC Comet.
It is time for me to tell you the story of Maxel Championship Wrestling. But first, I need to tell you why I need to do this, why I need to peel back the curtain like I never have before, because a couple of weeks ago, as I'm sure you all know, it's been well documented what Tsunami said. He made a comment about my father, who left me when at a very young age, practically at birth, and how that has impacted my life. And I went on to interviews, and I said this on my own personal Instagram, but I'm going to say it right here on the most relevant stage there is in the backyard. When Tsunami said what he said, he tried to infuse my personal life with my wrestling life. And for 4 years, this place has been a safe haven from any adversity I've been going through personally. Any problems I've gone through, this place has helped me and this place has saved me. Without BCW, I wouldn't be here. I genuinely believe that. This place has given me purpose like never before. It has enlightened me on what I was meant to do, what I was born to do. But I need to tell you why the only reason BCW was able to exist. Well, first, this is where I'm going to peel back the curtain. Years ago, Tsunami and I, and Tommy Good, we were best friends, all of us. We would laugh, we would joke, we would confide in one another with our fears, our hopes, our desires. We spent every single day together practically. We were childhood best friends, literally. Childhood best friends. I've known Tsunami my entire life. I've known Tommy Good my entire life. And as you can see on screen right now, that is a picture from a summer night in July of 2015. Me, Tommy Good, and Tsunami sitting side by side together. Simpler times really. In a way I miss them, but in another way I see now why BCW needed to be created. But anyway, in 2021, when BCW was created, it was only able to be created because a catastrophic event happened in my life. When I was on vacation, my house flooded. I lost everything. Every single possession I've ever owned, gone, washed down the drain. I had to start from scratch completely, and I didn't have nowhere to go. I had nowhere. Me and my mom, we had no place to turn. And Tsunami opened his doors. He opened his doors to us, and he let us stay in his home. And it was because I was living with Tsunami at the time, and we were spending so much time together that we began to wrestle. We began to wrestle on the trampoline and have fun, and it was like we did as kids. And it's just, we got the idea to create a YouTube channel, to start a wrestling company, a wrestling promotion, and its growth has been tremendous. And you know how prideful I am of BCW. And on that one fateful night when me and Tsunami, we sat together, he pressed start on the Instagram page, I pressed start on the YouTube page, and ever since we never looked back. We were off to the running. But it started. We were okay in the beginning, me and Tsunami. We were still talking, we were still hanging out, and then over time, once the fans came, as we grew, as the audience grew, it really got to his head. He became an egotist. He began thinking he was too big for BCW, that he belonged elsewhere, that he was meant to be this professional wrestling master, this god, and that we were nothing compared to him. That's what he believed, and he even believed that on a personal level. He dropped us. Me and Tommy Good dropped us completely. Dropped us like we were nothing. Dropped us like we hadn't been friends our entire life. That is why I hate Tsunami. Because although this had to happen, although I am so happy that we created Ben Salem Championship Wrestling, he didn't have to. My best friend. I didn't have to lose my best friend. I shouldn't have had to lose my greatest friend in the world, but I did. And that's the way it is now. And then he has been a corruption to this company. He has been a cancer to this company. He has stunted this place's growth more than you can possibly imagine. All of this company's growth. I'm not saying this to be an egotist like he is, but it's true. It's attributed to me. He's rode off my coattails. This name, the founder of BCW, the reason why he says it so emphatically is because he's so insecure. He knows that this could have happened, that this could have continued fine without him. Because you see, back in 2023, we went on a 10-month hiatus that lasted into 2024, and then Tsunami, it wasn't just his fault. There was but it was mainly his fault. Constantly, I would text him, and me and him weren't friends at this point. Not at all. We were not friends at all. But I texted him because I wanted this company to succeed. I wanted this company to continue. I hated to see it die. And in those 10 months, I became the most depressed version of myself I've ever seen. I lost hope. I lost faith in my life. Everything came crumbling down. And then when BCW came back, I was finally able to come back to a healthy place. But when we brought BCW back, I only brought BCW back because one night, I went over to one of my buddy's house, and we were having a fire out in the backyard, and I went out there, and Caden Gallows was watching WWE SmackDown on his phone, and immediately I start talking professional wrestling with him. We start talking about what we love, and then the man just he just offers to wrestle me right there, and me and him, we had a nice little wrestling scrimmage. It was competitive, but it was that reignited the spark within me that I realized that I can't wait on Tsunami to continue BCW. BCW must continue regardless of him. And that's exactly what happened. I told Caden Gallows of this opportunity. I brought him in. I brought Christian Sin into BCW. And thank you. And I have so much respect for Caden Gallows, and I have so much respect for my friend Christian Sin, because they came into BCW and they saved us. They saved us. We were in obscurity. We were gone for months. And me and NJN at the time were in a faction together, so we weren't going to be competing against one another. They saved BCW. They came in and allowed us to continue. This is my problem right here. It's because we were back for about a month before Tsunami realized that he saw we were back. He saw that this place can continue without him, and that's what he didn't like. You see, he was content to leave this place in the grave. He was content to leave this place in obscurity as long as no one else resurrected it. But once I resurrected it, once I brought it back with these new people, once we brought back BCW, then all of a sudden he wants to come back and take all the glory. And that's when he started calling himself the founder. That's when we saw the attitude change. Because we're relevant now, because we are much bigger than we were. In 1 year we've gone from like 200 subscribers to over 1.4, 1.5. Our growth has been tremendous, and Tsunami has seen that, and he saw the growth we were seeing immediately. He saw that this engine wasn't stopping without him, and that's why he came back, and he attached himself to this company like a leech. That is what Tsunami is. He is a leech. He has leached off of this company's success. He has leached off of my successes, and that is going to end at TrampoMania. He has been nothing but a thief since being here, stealing the rightful opportunities of everybody else, and that ends at TrampoMania III at May 4th in the main event. Tsunami is going to be put out to pasture. I am going to end Tsunami once and for all. He is a toxic cancer in this company. He simply cannot remain here. It is not healthy for Tsunami to be a part of BCW, not for me, not for anyone else in this locker room, because as long as he is here, he is going to manipulate and connive and politic his way to the top, because that is what he does best. And now, I, at TrampoMania, have the tremendous opportunity and the privilege to be the one to do it, to end Tsunami. After what he said about my personal life, after everything he's done to me, after everything I've just mentioned to you, this man cannot continue to walk around unpunished. And that ends at TrampoMania 3. And I'm going to see you there in the main event.
Strong statement from the BCW champion just days before TrampoMania. But now, without further ado, it's time to hear from JC Comet. Oh, wait a minute. I'm told there's some breaking news here. Caden Gallows has submitted an official request through BCW management to communicate to Sin. He requested to meet Christian Sin at an undisclosed location that will be provided to just the two gentlemen for BCW 143 coming out later this week before TrampoMania 3. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to hear from the God, JC Comet.
Ladies and gentlemen of BCW, it's been quite a few days for me, you know. Lost my title shot at the BCW title because of Christian Sin. And he asked me to fight him at TrampoMania, and obviously I'm going to say yes. But instead I got to go through Tommy Good, which obviously I would have done if Ace Swagger hadn't interrupted, and Christian Sin, being the attention seeker he is, says he'll take on all three of us in a fatal four-way. The first ever at TrampoMania 3. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why Christian is so obsessed with me. I don't know why Ace Swagger just will never leave me alone. I don't know why Tommy Good thought he could beat me. And I don't know what they're thinking at TrampoMania, thinking they have a chance. You might be asking, JC, why did you bring a shovel? It's pretty random, isn't it? Brought this shovel because I'm going to do something I haven't done in BCW yet. I don't think I'm going to absolutely bury my opponents. It might bring down the ratings for TrampoMania, but I don't really care. So where do we start? Let's start with Ace Swagger. Mr. Swagger, the WRW World Champion. Congratulations. You have the title that I made prestigious by holding for over 365 days. You've only held it for maybe 200. How many title defenses have you had? Let me think. Doesn't take a lot. 3 title defenses. You're a real tough guy, huh? You won't leave me alone. I don't know why. I've beaten you once in BCW already. I'll do it again. Just leave me alone, please. Just go defend the WIW title. Stop trying to let me down. Stop making that title that I built up look stupid. Please, just leave BCW, honestly. Like, I don't know why you're so obsessed with me, that you had to come to BCW just to try and stop me from winning a title, because this is why, because you can't get any attention on your own. It's because you need me for views. Without me, you're nothing. I'm the Infinity Stones, you're the Infinity Gauntlet. You need me to make you have purpose. And that brings me to Tommy Good. Mr. Good, I don't know a lot about you, and that says something because I know a lot about a lot of people, but what I do know is that you haven't done anything, really, since BCW episode 5. What is that, 4 years ago? How many championships have you won since then? All right, 0. How many championship shots have you had? I don't really know, but I'm sure there's a few that you just couldn't pull out, and that's exactly what's going to happen at TrampoMania. We'll add another one to that goal. Continue the streak of Tommy Good not doing anything. Mr. Irrelevancy. One thing I can get behind Ace Swagger on is Tommy sucks. So Thomas, look, bro, I don't know you. This doesn't involve you. This involves Christian Sin and Ace Swagger. I have to put them down for good. Just leave. Go fight Tsunami a million times again and probably lose. I don't care. Then that leaves me to Christian Sin. Mr. Sin. The guy that just can't get enough of me. My first BCW opponent, and I actually respected him after that first match. I helped him retain the title at Christmas Chaos. But just like Tommy Good championship win since BCW 5, how many thank yous did I get from Christian Sin? 0. Instead of a thank you, for some reason, What I got was him not helping me even the odds at Resolution Rampage against Caden Gallows, who I thought was supposed to be his main enemy, but then a few weeks after in a special guest referee match, he seems pretty one-sided towards Caden Gallows, so I don't really understand that. If you want to get back with him, congratulations, bro. You can do that. I'll take another member of Resurrection down. But look, Christian, I know why you can't get enough of me. Because you know you're not good enough. You don't have it in you to do anything. In the top 10 most viewed videos in BCW, you've been here for about a year. I think you're only in one of them. And that's because your opponent was me. You need me. You're just like Ace Swagger. Without me, you have nothing. Without Caden Gallows, you have nothing. So instead of having a partner, you tried to make an enemy. And Christian Sin, that is the worst mistake you're ever going to make. Because you're not getting the JC Comet at TrampoMania that walks around smiling all the time, taking half an hour on his entrances. You're getting the JC Comet that was WWE champion for over a year. You're getting the JC Comet that was buried alive in this backyard and got right back up again and took the the WRW championship back. I'm looking a little too forward. But look, Christian, I know you want my attention. You've got it. It's a mistake, because now every single time you close your eyes, you're going to be looking over your shoulder, hoping that I don't come and make sure you don't make it to TrampoMania. Christian Sin, the amount of people that are going to have to keep me away from getting to you, I don't know if there's enough on the roster, to be honest with you. And when I have you at TrampoMania, I might not have you one-on-one, but I'm sure I'm going to have you in the ring, just me and you at one point. And that's when it all comes crashing down for you. See, what you did to me, you cost me a shot at the BCW title at Resolution Rampage. You cost me a BCW title shot at BCW 137. So now, I don't care if I walk out of TrampoMania as hardcore champion. It would just be an extra bonus. I probably will, but that's not the main goal. The main goal, Christian Sin, is that you don't walk out of TrampoMania at all. The goal is that you lose everything. You lose the BCW Hardcore Championship. You lose your friend Tommy Good somewhere along in there, most likely. And you lose the relevancy that I keep bringing to you. Look, Christian Sin, you've done a lot to me. But it's not going to even compare to what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to take everything from you. As many times as I have to. Everything you have will either be mine or it will be nothing. So Ace Swagger, Thomas, I suggest you stay out of my way, because no matter what, I'm going to be the only one left standing at TrampoMania. I don't know if I'll be the hardcore champion, but I can guarantee you that everybody's going to know my name. And you can all stop clinging on to me. So Thomas, Ace, Christian, this is the end for all of you. And it's the start of the era of the God. Worship me.
Strong statement from JC Comet just days before TrampoMania 3 as he prepares to go into this fatal four-way hardcore championship matches. This one is a true toss-up. Anybody can walk out with this belt. It's very, very unpredictable. And then, of course, that we will also see Caden Gallows take on NJN. Gallows has recently documented saying he's been dealing with his demons. How will that present itself at TrampoMania 3? We're going to have to find out. And then, of course, the main event, one of the biggest matches in BCW history. Maxel Reeves defends his BCW Tsunami, as TrampoMania 3 is coming at you May 4th, 2025, this Sunday. We'll see you then.